So once you've gone ahead and taken your diagnostic skills test at the start of your My Writing Lab, normally what you'll have done is you'll actually have done this during the lab with the College of Education graduate assistant, but just in case, um, once you complete that, what's called that path builder, it'll give you the path builder summary. Now, obviously, if it comes up with a little pencil by one of the modules that you have to complete, that still means that you need to work through those modules. If you had mastered any, they'll come up with a little star next to them where that pencil would be. So the easiest way to get these started and get them completed is to click on the Go to Learning Path button right down here, and that'll bring you to this page. And now this, as you can see, these are your learning path modules. Now, obviously, each of these is going to need to be completed before your My Writing Lab is completely done. So again, even though you've taken that initial pre-test, that's just a diagnostic test. What that tells us is what you still need to work on in preparation for your MTLEs and onward in teaching. So obviously, you can scroll through these at your convenience and do whichever one you want to first. But for this sake, for this example, we're going to show you, we're going to click on grammar. And now you can see there's a total of 55 activities under 11 different topic areas. So if you click it, what will happen is it'll bring up all of those topic areas and each of those activities in that area. Now, for the purposes of My Writing Lab, the only graded section is the post-test. But as you can see, you only get 2 attempts in that post-test to pass, and passing is 75% or better. Now, if you don't pass, what happens is the College of Education graduate assistant will be alerted, and if your score is very close to that passing mark, what they'll normally do is just reset it for you and then allow you to keep trying again. But if it's noted that you do need help, you are going to have to come in for one-on-one tutoring before the College of Education graduate assistant will unlock that. And that's just so people don't go through and try to take the test as fast as possible and take as many attempts as they need. We really want you to learn how to do this and really improve. So again, the only graded portion is that post-test, and once you finish with that post-test, you will receive a star over here, and that means that that whole section is complete. Now, if you go through the post-test and you realize you're having trouble, all of these activities above the post-test are designed to help you. So, for example, the animation and the recall sections are mostly review. So it's stuff that you should have already learned in school, predominantly maybe even middle school, junior high. But what will happen is that should refresh your memory, and then you can go ahead and try that in the apply and the write sections before taking the post-test again. So again, the only graded portion on each and every one of these sections is going to be that post-test. But you do have to pass every one of these post-tests before the whole module will be complete. And again, if you go back and click on Learning Path, you'll see that you do have those 5 modules that you have to complete, and in each one of them there's a topic list, and each one of these topics has to be mastered, and by mastering, just complete the post-test. So, worst case scenario, I'm showing you it right here, the worst case scenario is that you have to complete all 5 modules, which yes, looks like a whole lot of activities and topics, but if you really look through them, there's only 8 in writing a paragraph, only 11 in grammar, 12 in sentence skills, 8 more in punctuation, and 8 more in language usage. So, for each one of those, that's only 1 post-test per topic, so that's really not that much work. But take your time on it and make sure to actually benefit from it. Because remember, even though there are those deadlines that you have to complete this by, the bigger goal here is that you learn these areas and you apply these subject areas to your teaching. Now, last but not least, once you're finished up with all those modules, you're technically done with My Writing Lab. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to send an email to your College of Education graduate assistant, just making sure that they know you've completed as well, especially the closer you get to the deadline. Because remember, if you say you finish at midnight the night before the deadline, well, if the College of Education graduate assistant isn't checking it at midnight, they might not know, and that might get missed. So you're going to want to send them an email as soon as you complete, just to make sure that you've completed. And what they'll do is they'll check that for you, and they'll let you know for sure. Because the last thing you want to do is miss one of these little sections, because they can't pass you until you complete them all. Now, once that's completed and done, you are done with your My Writing Lab requirement. However, there is a mastery check down here at the bottom, and the mastery check is kind of like a post-test, just like that pre-test when you first signed in and completed it. So just like this Path Builder, the mastery check is a test designed to show you what you might still need to work on even after completing all of this work up here. So again, it's not something you have to do, but it's something that we really encourage, especially right before you take the MTLEs. So even if you finish up all your exercise sets by the professional education deadline or the end of the semester, but you're not taking your MTLEs right away, what you might want to do is, say, a week or so before the MTLEs, go ahead and sign back in and come back and take that mastery check to demonstrate mastery. And what that means is it's basically going to give you the same kind of questions from the pretest, so that way you can learn where you may need to work on, especially right before the MTLE exam. So again, as soon as you finish up all these module sets, you're done with your My Writing Lab requirement. You're still going to want to email your College of Education graduate assistant just in case, but overall, as long as you're set with that, you're all set to go. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and contact your College of Education graduate assistant. Hope this helped.